All right, guys, good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you're doing well. I haven't put a video out in a little while, and I did go to, not the last show, but the show prior to this. Just there wasn't anything that I should show. If there's some cards on there, I might mix it into the next video. But, everything for 2024 for me, I'm just going to just put stuff out. I'm not going to pressure myself to go to every show moving forward until we get enough change to where cards are changing enough. For what I usually do with the slow roll, it's hard for me to constantly find good, decent cards to show something rare or interesting when I have the same dealers over and over and over again. So I don't need to go to 4 shows a month. Maybe 2 is what I may target, or 3, just based on what I'm doing that day. I'm not going to go out of my way and basically make sure I go to the show. Does that make sense? If I have the time, I'm going to go. If I don't, I'm not. Hobby-wise, with everything else going on, goal-wise, because everybody's talking about their goals for 2024, I'm just going to buy what I like, honestly. I hadn't even been ripping very much. I did rip some older wax that I had at the house and some autos out of some Bowman Megas and stuff like that. One of the things that bothered me about the Bowman Megas is with the autographs, why don't they put the Bowman First logo on there? It's still a Bowman First card. I think that needs to change moving forward if they can fix something up there, but because it really confuses people with the mega box exclusives, because they have those parallels that are all numbered as well. So it's very interesting that they have not done that yet. I'm been hesitant to get into Prism football. I did buy 3 blaster boxes. I will open those, put that on camera. I am interested in opening that. I should receive it today, actually, so maybe I'll have another video coming up here this week regarding opening that product to see what it looks like. Maybe you can get mine out before Neil gets his, but I doubt it. He's a little closer to the shipping location. Just messing around. I got to see Dustin at the Bucks Saints game here in Tampa, where the Bucks didn't show up and played their worst game of the year. But it was nice to see him at the game, and he flew in, so I was able to talk to him just for a little bit through halftime, so we can go back to enjoy the game. And I'll see him again soon in Atlanta, because I am going in to Atlanta, rooming with Flipping Steve and the group there. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see Jeff Wilson's card shop that he's opening up, and to go hang out with the guys. I'll show obviously a bunch of slow rolls at the show, as obviously a lot of things are going to be there for me to show everybody else, and hopefully some goofy fun stuff as well, because part of this, to me, at least the most part now, is the friendship, the camaraderie, the getting to hang out with the guys, BS, shoot the shit and have a good time, and that's where I'm at now with the hobby, because the second part of the hobby I always enjoyed was the true investing part, and the investing part now long term is so muddied that I don't even know what real direction that goes. There are what we call the safe cards, realistically, and they're usually going to be more vintage and or players that have already been established and or are highly collected no matter what, in the right cards. Because let's face it, an RBI card, 89 or let's say 92 King Griffey Jr., nobody's going to give a rat patoot about, no matter what the grade. So in that type of a scenario, I don't really want to overly invest in somebody unless I feel really confident, because the buy-in price to invest in a high level prospect now is so high. And we all say it, go look back at the old drafts, and these were the top 20 people, and not a single one of them made the Hall of Fame, but they were the big guys, and people were chasing them all. So I think we've gotten a little bit better with figuring out who's good and bad, and or if you see somebody that gets into the majors for the first few years of their career and they constantly get better, for long-term holds is what I'm talking about, then you can kind of jump in and play a little wait-and-see gamesy with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're still seeing that. Obviously, the Dodgers should be the favorite to win the World Series. If you're going to be a betting man, you're not going to bet on the Dodgers. You're going to bet on anybody else to possibly upset them, because let's face it, we've seen super teams get knocked out of things before. So that's a very big possibility. The other thing with the hobby right now is, there's a lot of stuff being exposed, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that have been doing misleading things and or misappropriating how they do things in order to make money at the basically somebody else's loss, and that's basically stealing or theft or misleading somebody to a negative outcome. And it's going to happen with the money being as big as it is for very specific things, slabs still being put together the same old way. And this is part of this thing with innovation that I keep yelling about the hobby, not just the cards, and being told that they can't do it. I mean, when I was on listening to Brian Gray's show and he was talking about the PMGs now versus then, he's like, they can't even find anybody to do it that way anymore, which I don't understand how you can't go back in time and recreate something. So I'm going to equivote, is that a word? It is now. I'm going to basically compare that to the pyramids. We can't build the pyramids today. We can't make PNGs today. There's a couple other cards we can't make today. So those cards I'm going to start referring to as pyramid cards that we got dumber with time, not better. So I see that as an issue, and I know a few people that can probably come up with a way to make those cards as an individual, and I would love to see a custom person make a PMG look like an old PMG. Obviously, there's probably a lot of work that goes into that, but it'd be very interesting. Even the metal cards, the way they were made then, they can't make them the same way now, is what they're saying. As well as he was talking about holo views and holograms and stuff like that. And to me, it's just still a money thing, just not tapping the potential of spending more money to do something. Which, if you were going to do that, the idea is make super rare cards. I don't mean out of 100. I mean, if you're truly making a card out of 5 that's cost a bunch of money to make, and you're going to put it in the product, and that is going to be the card that everybody chases, and out of those players, that's I see a better push. We need to get what I consider more real rare cards, to where a card is only available through a certain product, and I know we have stuff like that, but I'm talking about really rare, okay? Or do like they used to do with the kabooms, where they were through different products, so you had to chase product in order to get certain players. I think that's huge. And if they're going to save certain players like Bowman does, and don't throw them all in draft anymore, or throw them all in update, and they save them for other product, then why can't they do that with these cards as well? And I think they're just going so fast because they know all this money's now, and maybe they're worried about the future of how they're going to keep this type of volume up over time, because people can only gamble and lose for so long, and then they're out because they keep looking back and they don't have anything to show for it. Sorry, the camera keeps slipping with all these bumps. And I feel like that's the direction the hobby's going to go. At some point, the hobby's going to dip again. And singles are still coming down. There's still cards that I've been randomly buying on eBay that I used to never ever be able to touch. And people still have crazy numbers on certain cards that are worth 1% of what they're asking. Because there's a card I'm interested in. It got listed. It's a black Prism auto. Guy does not play football. Played football for like maybe 30 plays of his life. And it was just a rainbow I was trying to make for fun. A guy bought that card graded for 150 because I just didn't see it when it got listed. Because I would have bought that because I only need like 3 cards to complete the rainbow. And of course, it looked like 1 of 1, gold 10. It's the Anthony Gordon Prism rookie auto from 2021 or 2020 Prism, and he bought it, and as soon as he got it, he relisted it for $1,500. Okay, it's not worth $1,500. It's just not. And then the guy has the white sparkle 101. I was like, oh, another 101. He wants $500 for it. I was like, you can't sell a card like that for more than a actual real player's card that is liked is worth. Like, I don't know the stupidity that goes on behind that, because that's what angers me, is because it's stupid. If you're going to try and, throw some money, if you're going to buy something like that, you need to have a buyer already in mind if you think that that's how you're going to switch the game up. So now I got to wait again until somebody gets tired of holding on to it. They're willing to make $50, and I'll give them the money just so I can complete my stupid rainbow, since they're just going to hold on to it and be jackholes because, if you have to have it, you got to buy it for this, because there's no value on it. There's value on it. It's just not what you're asking for anybody. Otherwise, they would have both already been sold. So that's a perfect example. If you list something, you think you got something that's the cat's meow, and you have it listed and nobody buys it in the first 30, 60 days that you have it listed and you keep relisting it, there's something wrong. All right, there's a Barry Bonds card that I want to complete a 2-card set, and I can't get that card because the guy will not come off of his price, even though I showed him cards better than the one he has that have gone for less money, that are more rare than the card he's attempting to sell, because in his mind he thinks it's worth that money. So I don't know how to fight that. You can sell for anything you want. It just stinks when it's something you do want, but you're also not willing to be an idiot about it. And that's where I get frustrated, especially where we are in the hobby now. You need to, if you're buying to sell, you better be moving things. You don't wait. If you're waiting right now, unless you got a specific card of a top player, you better get out of that thing ASAP. If you're trying to sell, that's what you do. Get out ASAP. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm getting rid of a big part of my collection. I used to rip a lot. I used to be in a lot of breaks. I got a lot of cards I don't need and I don't care about. That's part of it. I don't care about them. So I'm willing to give them up at 60%, 70% comps based on the cards. And there's a bunch of cards, obviously, they're like dollar cards and boxes, but good dollar cards and boxes that are maybe $3 to $5 cards. The stuff the whatnot people like. So I don't know if I set up at a show, try and sell some stuff, or just bulk sell it to get the hell out of my house, because it's a lot of cards. It's thousands and thousands of cards. Some again aren't they're just base Trout cards or base Ohtani or base whatever. And then there's other cards that are autographs and rare and numbered and serial numbered and all these different things. It's just one of those things that I'm refreshing, and I want to reinvest in the hobby, because again, I've always been more of a collector investor more than anything. So that's the direction I want to go. And I have some other outlets that I want to try and play with. I may create another YouTube channel, dedicate it to something else that has nothing to do with cards, and I'm not going to push it whatsoever, because it's going to be more maybe a talk show, and just have random people on consistently for funsies. Or I may start the fishing channel up and try and get 2 or 3 videos out a month on fishing. I could do that here, but I don't want to offset the people that collect cards. I don't know if you would care, because it may become more fishing heavy than card heavy at certain points, just based on what I want to do with the channel, really. Because if I want to grow the channel, outside of cards, which is just a tiny little hobby, fishing is a much bigger hobby, and it's worldwide. And the majority of my original content people were all fishing, not cards. So that's part of it. And all of them have pretty much stayed around for the card stuff. Even though I haven't posted any fishing for a while, I just went and checked my numbers, and it was just funny that I still have a decent fishing group of people associated with my account. But all right, guys, video coming out hopefully after this weekend's show. May have a video of the Prism. Try and get a video out here. Happy New Year, guys. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying it. Let me know what you think you're going to do in 2024. Do you have any ideas? Are you staying in the hobby? Are you getting out? Are you slowing down? What is your end game for 2024 right now? And I had a quick question. If something big happened, let's say a war starts, fuel prices go through the roof, and all these other things, do you stop collecting cards? Do you try and sell and get out to recoup immediately? I've always tried to figure out if there's a large enough catalyst that creates a negative impact on any type of a collectible, how do you respond to that? What is your thought process or end game on getting through that process? Is it wait to see how something low goes and buy, or is it hold my money tight because I don't know what else I'm going to need this for? Always interested on kind of that doomsday scenario. Obviously, if something bad enough happened, cards don't even matter. Okay, doesn't matter whatsoever. But that's super bad. I'm not trying to run that direction. All right, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope y'all are doing well. See ya.